Okay, what is happening with hotels in Victoria and the need for space here? Destination Greater Victoria has been making presentations to local councils about their hotel development working group and the findings that they have had. So here to talk about it is Paul Nursey. He's president and CEO of Destination Greater Victoria. Paul Nursey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself, Brian?
Good to talk to you. So I know, for instance, I think on Thursday you were at Victoria City Council making a presentation. You've been presenting to a few councils about what we're finding with hotel spaces and the need for it in Victoria. Talk about what you've been telling everybody.
Yeah, to provide some background, and this is well published for those who follow the news or the business news, we have a 10-year destination plan about, the future, looking generations into the future, which ensures our competitiveness. And then we're tackling all sorts of different things, and part of that is hotel capacity. We developed and chaired a hotel development working group, very similar to what has also happened in Vancouver, to look into the future to what our community would need. And that report was issued. There was quite a bit of press around it. 5 municipalities were active participants, so we're just doing delegations to those councils. We were at View Royal on Tuesday, and then City of Victoria on Thursday. And I can share there's a very strong appetite from the political level to be a bit more competitive in terms of ensuring there's a better dialogue between hotel developers and councils.
And the bottom line in this is we've just found we are short a lot of hotel space, right? That's the main issue.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Yes. The answer is yes. This evolves over time and business conditions and market conditions. But we're in a position now, kind of a generational opportunity once in 20 years, where the market is very strong and other development categories are weak. And so we do have an opportunity because it's a very complicated asset class. So we want to seize the opportunity and see if we can get a handful of hotels built because we have lost 2,500 rooms in the last 15 years, and our goal is to get about 2,000 full service hotel rooms within the next 10 years.
And you mentioned that this is an opportunity because of some of the market conditions right now, but what would municipalities need to do? And I guess maybe that's part of the reason you're going to municipalities to talk to them about it. What would you need to see from the municipal level to make this actually happen?
Well, first of all, I will say, at our working group level, it was staff. It was planning staff, economic development staff, and they don't actually, while they support councils, they don't make the political decisions, right? So there needs to be both political support and technical kind of managerial support. And staff were very, very engaged and very constructive. But it depends by the municipality, but mostly developers and the financiers behind them would like to see some certainty in terms of the time of the development process. And a lot of improvements have been made in housing. And then in different municipalities, there could be things like office conversions or heritage retrofits that are more specific to those municipalities. But also what took place, both at the staff level and with council, is just some basic education around the pro formas, the financial drivers, and an understanding that, bylaws may intersect with hotel brand standards and things like that. So it was part education, part recommendation. And we're very pleased with how it's gone so far.
And I guess just last week we had that news of the the BC Utilities building? I can't remember the name of it.
Blanchard Power Commission, I think it's called. Yeah, the old
And that's another kind of heritage. That's you mentioned possibilities here could be heritage conversions into this kind of thing, and I guess that's an example of that.
Yeah, and what a great experience for our visitors to, whether it be the Ducks building on Broad Street, which is under construction, to have part of our story as our city, our historical story, worked into the guest experience. So, I think the reality in downtown Victoria is that there are less office workers here. Government workers are by and large remote these days. We need that economic vitality. So, and hotels and the visitor economy is performing right now. So, if there's market opportunities, we really do hope, and this is happening. I'm sensing a fresh attitude from staff and planners that they are receptive. They're not going to get in the way unnecessarily, be overly bureaucratic. Of course, they have a job to do, but we want to make sure that things get done tastefully, but they get done on a reasonable timeline.
What happens next year? So you're going around to councils hoping for, I guess, some partnership in this and maybe some changes to bylaws and whatnot to make it all work. But what happens next year?
Well, I think there's a strong desire. There's a very strong desire from all municipalities. And the suburban municipalities are very motivated as well, too. They want diversification in their tax base. Hotels do provide a lot of property taxes and amenities as well in terms of emergency services, participation in the community, charity giving, all those things. They want the positive benefits of hotels, not to mention the economic stimulation and the businesses that pop up around them. So we see very strong support. We're going to keep this working group together, maybe at a report's published. We're going to go into the market together. There's some hotel development attraction conferences. We're going to attend those and have a cohesive Greater Victoria kind of pitch to help stimulate some of that investment. And again, we do not want to overbuild. I want to stress we don't want to overbuild. There's still about 1,200 Airbnbs in the region, even with the provincial changes. We want to make sure that there's a staggered and logical rebuild of our lost inventory, and I think we're on a pathway to do that, which would be a great outcome for the region.
Just touching base on what is continuing to be a push towards more hotel space, which is needed in the Victoria region, the whole area. Paul Nursey, CEO, Destination Greater Victoria. Always great to talk to you about things going on and the need for hotels. We'll catch up, I'm sure, as this moves forward.
Great. Thanks very much. Take care.